Brian Cashman isn't doing a good enough job. That's the GM. Not doing a good enough. Brian Cashman is one of the top GMs in baseball. He's excellent. That's not good enough for the Yankees. Let me explain something. The New York Yankees' standard of excellence is different than any other team in the history of this country, maybe in the world. They have 27 World Series championships. They play in a league without a salary cap. There's no excuse to not have the best players. They play in the center of the known universe in New York City. If there was a capital of Earth, the reason the United Nations is right, it's New York City. And they have the number one brand. Let me tell you.
Such an elitist, this guy to my left, he is.
Let me explain to you, well, in the imagination of children, like from Sesame Street to the United Nations, Wall Street, Broadway, the whole thing.
I'm teasing you. Relax.
Now, imagine if the Patriots, take the Patriots of the last 15 years, now extend that kind of run for 100 years. There were about 20, 25 years sprinkled throughout where they weren't quite that. So say 75 of the last 100 years, they've been the Patriots. The Patriots have been doing it for 15. Imagine if the Patriots continued this for 60 more years. That's the standard. Now, Brian Cashman's excellent. But under his watch as GM, Red Sox are now working on their 4th World Series. They've already won 3. Cashman won. 3-1 Boston. You can't, in the same division, have your chief rival triple your success in the World Series if you're the GM of the New York Yankees. It means someone else is doing a better job than you. And I'm sorry. For the Yankees, more than the Patriots, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Lakers, the Celtics, doesn't matter. No one's close. For the Yankees, that is unacceptable. Period.
Well, first of all, I completely agree with you, and I'll take it a step further. Cashman didn't do enough to buffer this rotation. And what's unforgivable about that is who's the reigning defending World Series champions? That would be the Houston Astros. Do you see that rotation? Do you see that rotation? And we all know that pitching wins championships in the sport of baseball. That's a reality. You can smack all the home runs you want to, like the 267 that the Yankees smacked this year. But if you don't have pitching when it counts, that's going to be a problem. Severino missed the inconsistency. A stud one day, a bum the next. Don't get me started with J.A. Happ, his 5 earned runs in 2 innings and ERA of 22. Tick me off, okay? That's a problem. CC Sabathia, God bless him, he's 37 years of age. Yes, I know you had problems with the umpire last night, no question about it. It was a disastrous situation, but nevertheless, you know what? He's beyond his prime. The only person you have to rely upon is Tanaka. You could have had DeGrom. You could have pursued DeGrom heavier. You might not have gotten him, but you should have went all out to get Jacob DeGrom from the New York Mets. You didn't do it. You should have gave up some prospects to do it. You didn't do it. And in the end, when you look at that, and don't get me started with Giancarlo Stanton and his 4 for 18 bats, 4 damn singles, Mr. $25 million man, 4 singles. That's it. Against the Red Sox.
And in a critical situation, swinging at sliders in the dirt.
And even though, again, I know that didn't determine the outcome. I didn't like Aaron Judge with that damn boombox music either. I got a problem with everything.
We're not going to get into the Aaron Judge thing because that is just nonsense. Him playing a boombox isn't going to determine any outcomes. But I think, Max, your issue is you're oversimplifying the job of the general manager. And this is where having been there might have mattered because you're arguing that they have enough money and he should just go out and get the players. But that was the criticism of the previous Yankee era.
No, you're misunderstanding that point.
He's gotten a great hitting lineup, an all-time great hitting lineup, an all-time great bullpen. The rotation, the start is certainly an issue, but he's done enough, I think, to make this team competitive once you get in the playoffs.
Competitive. That's for everyone else. There's no competitive for the Yankees. Now, you're missing my point. I understand why you would think that. Let me express it more clearly. It's not just that you have more in treasure. It's that you also must be smarter with the trades you make, with the system you build. He's rebuilt the Yankee system. That's great. I understand it takes some time. He's made a lot of smart trades. He's very good at trading for undervalued assets, athletic outfielders coming off bad seasons where he doesn't have to give up a lot. Nick Swisher once upon a time, Aaron Hicks now, Jay Happ is like that. But Stephen A's point is correct. This is what Cashman fails to do. There's a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads to great fortune, right? Otherwise, you're stuck. He doesn't make the critical trade that will be painful in order to acquire the frontline starter. So, Chris Sale is in Boston, Verlander is in Houston, DeGrom is still on the Mets, Bumgarner's still on the Giants, and the Yankees don't have an ace.
But that costs prospects, and that costs money. And when you give that up, that hurts your long term. You want you want to sustain this over another 100 years. You can't be giving those things away because that was the problem. That was the argument in the last regime was they're just throwing money, they had no farm system. You have to keep that farm system.
Hold on, Dominic, you'd have a valid point if this were the Yankees in the 90s that, you know what, won 3 straight World Series or 4 and 5 years and stuff like that. But when it's 2018, and you are the New York Yankees, and you only have 1 World Series championship to show for this millennial, while the Boston Red Sox have captured 3 and potentially en route to 4, that is inexcusable, and that is the time you give up prospects and some money.
Now, wait, I want to address,
when you're the Yankees.
I want to be very specific about this because this is the point I'm making. Stephen A. is right here. This is the point I'm making. Whatever you're talking about, you don't want to trade away the entire farm. There's a balancing act. How do you keep the farm system stocked while knowing when to go all in for the ace starter? What I'm saying is the Red Sox have done that better than Cashman. And let me just say this. And it is unacceptable, more unacceptable for the Yankees than any other team by far in American team sports, for anyone to do a better job at that than the Yankees. Cashman is like the 4th best GM in baseball. Go to Milwaukee with that. New York needs to have the best front office in the game.
Take a breath. You're a little stressed. I know you're passionate about this.
So emotional.
Yes, I know. It's a lot
Struck
for him.
a nerve.
All right, because I'm not going to see you. Who you got, Red Sox or Astros in the next one?
Stros.
All right.
So do I.